welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this absolutely delicious Valentine's Day cherry custard pie from a vintage cookbook from 1959. Stay tuned and I'll show you how to make it. Hello friends, so I realized as I was making this pie crust, guess what? My camera wasn't recording. Don't you love when that happens? Anyway, for this pie crust, you need 1 1/4 cup all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/3 cup of cold butter. I like to take my butter, cube it up, put it in a bowl, stick it in the freezer for about 10 minutes. Then you're going to take all those ingredients, you're going to throw that in a food processor, and you're going to pulse it until it comes together and looks like crumbles, okay? Have a bowl of ice water, put in a tablespoon of ice water, and then pulse your food processor until it starts to come together as a dough. Just keep adding a little bit of ice water until it comes together, and it's going to look like this. Okay? Anyway, in the description box, you can find that recipe. I also have one of these silicone rolling pins, and we're just going to roll this out. We're going to be using a 9-inch pie pan. Now, this pie pan, the sides are straight up and down, as opposed to being curved. So you're going to want to roll this a good size, bigger than your pie pan, okay? So I'm going to work on this for a minute, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, I think I've got this rolled out enough. I've got flour. I got some flour in my pie dish here. It's okay. So now let's just pick this up and get it in our dish. There we go. Without me destroying it. All right, now let's just kind of gently, because I've rolled this kind of thin here, just gently get it down in our dish. Just kind of tapping it down in there like so, just to get it up against the edges. Now we're going to blind bake this here in a second. So you want to go ahead and get your oven to 450 degrees. Is that where we want this? No, let's move it over. Go ahead and get your oven to 450 degrees, okay? So I always try to take my time with this part. Just tuck it a little bit like that. It can be slow, but yeah, I like to take my time. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I like to take the edge of the crust. Let's get over so you can see the edge, and I'm going to roll it back just a little bit, okay, all the way around. Just roll it, because I like a really, on these kind of pies, on custard pies, I like a really thick crust on the edges. So that's what I'm doing, and I roll it like that. Instead of cutting off all of the excess, I roll it, and that is a very vintage way of doing pies. My grandpa, if you follow me on social media, you know, back in the day, my grandpa had a restaurant, very successful restaurant. And this would have been the type and style of pie that they would have sold at that restaurant, with the rolled edges like this. So anyway, just tucking it all around like so, all the way. I'm almost to the end. I was going to cut the video. I'm like, I got stuff all over my hands, so not even gonna mess with that right now. I really like how rustic it looks when you do it this way too. Okay, so let's get that all the way around. Now, where'd my fork go? I just had a fork. Aha! He tried to get away. Now, if you have pie weights, put your pie weights in here. If not, I don't know where my pie weights are because I haven't used them in a while. Take a fork, and we're gonna poke a bunch of holes all over it. What does this do? This stops the bottom from bubbling up when you bake it, okay? So now we're going to put this in the oven, 450 degrees for about 10 minutes. You're just looking for this to be nice and golden, okay? Then you're going to take it out and you're going to let it cool completely before we pour in our filling. I want this to be completely cool before I even cook the filling, okay? Because the filling is very quick. It's only going to take us about 5 minutes to make that. Yes, this. Anyway. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, our pie crust is in the oven, and now what we're going to do is we are chopping up these cherries, I get mine at Walmart. They're over near the ice cream. If you can't find them, because I couldn't find them, they moved them. They're over, at least in my store, over near the ice cream. Okay, so you're going to need some of these. You're going to take 1/4 to 1/3 cup of the juice. I like closer to 1/3 cup because I like the cherry flavor. And we have that over here in a bowl. Now we're going to chop up enough to give us 1/3 cup of the chopped cherries, okay? Because we're going to put that in our pie here in a second. Now, this right here, I know somebody's going to ask. I'm trying to pull my sleeves up just a little bit so that I don't get the juice on it. But I got some new ink the other day. Look at that. I still have the Sanoderm on it, and it's oozing right now. I don't want to subject y'all to that. So I'm trying to keep it covered in this video, okay? But I don't want this juice to get on my sleeves, which is why I've got them pulled up a little bit. And we're just going to chop these cherries until we get 1/3 cup. All right, so now we are going to start making our custard. So in here, I have 1 cup of sugar. I'm also going to add in 1/4 cup of cornstarch. 2 eggs. Where are my eggs? We're going to put in 2 eggs. Just set these over here. Like so. 2 cups of milk. And then the cherry juice. Remember we had 1/3 cup of cherry juice earlier. We're going to pour that cherry juice in. All right. So now what we're going to do is we are going to whisk all this together. After I wipe off my hand, we're going to whisk all this together. And you're going to have this over medium-high heat, and we want to bring this to a boil. And then, as it is boiling, you are never going to stop whisking it like this, okay? If your hand gets tired, just keep going. It'll be worth it because this is going to start to set up rather quickly once it comes to a boil. And like I said, this is a custard, so you want to cook it down till it has thickened up to a custard-like consistency, okay? All right. Bring this down. It's going to take me a minute. I'm trying to hold the pot with one hand. What did I get on there? With one hand and just constantly whisk it. I said till it comes to a boil. So I'm going to do this. I'm not going to sit here and make you watch me do the whole thing. But anyway, our pie crust is sitting over here. It is cooling down. So once I get done whisking this, I'm going to come back and I want you to see sort of the consistency that we're going for, okay? Now, once this has once it is done cooking, we're going to stir in the chopped up cherries that we have sitting in this bowl over here. So I'm going to let this cook and I'll be back in a minute. All right, so it is starting to come to a boil. It's already starting to thick up. It's already starting to thicken up a little bit. For this, you know what? Yeah, I'm wearing long sleeves for a reason, but another reason is if this stuff should pop and get on your skin, oh my gosh, it turns sticky and is really, really going to burn you. So I highly suggest wearing long sleeves when you are making custards, okay? Because a stray little air bubble in there might go pow, and then, you know, it's really going to hurt. All right, so you see those bubbles? And this is going to happen pretty darn quickly, okay? And it's going to start to really thicken up here. And I'm never going to stop stirring it. Now, once it's at the consistency that we're looking for, I'm going to immediately remove it from the heat. And then we'll stir in the cherries, okay? And I will cut the video for that so that I can get my little portable burner here out of the way. I've already splashed some on my little burner here. But anyway. All right. Now, as this cools down in our pie crust, of course it is going to thicken up. But this is looking pretty good, pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it from the heat. All right, looking good. Just stir it, get it nice and smoothed out. Just have it sitting on this old raggedy kitchen towel that I use for various purposes. And now we're going to take our chopped up cherries. Let's put it in there. I love these cherries, y'all. I will sit here and eat a whole jar of these cherries myself. I love them. I absolutely love these. Okay. So now we're going to let this cool just for a minute or two, okay? Not very long at all, because we still want it to be able to be poured into our crust, and I think our crust should be cooled enough. So let me stir this for a second, and then we will pour it in. All right, so this is looking pretty good. It has cooled down just for a minute or so, and now we're going to pour it into our pie dish, pie crust, whatever you want to call it. Then you're going to let it cool 100% completely, okay? Because when you put on the whipped cream, if your filling is warm, it's going to liquefy and go, and it's just, oh, it ain't going to be good. So now we're going to pour this into there. Okay, so it has poured in, and I bumped my crust with my pan and I cracked it. It's okay. It's okay. I just kind of leaned it back a little bit. It'll be all right. But anyway, let this cool down, and then we're going to make some whipped cream, put that on top, and some more cherries. All right, now while our pie is cooling down, it's just about ready. So we're going to go ahead and make our whipped cream. You can use a hand mixer for this if you want to, but I just have all of my whisks out, so that's what I'm going to use. So into a bowl, you are going to put 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, 4 tablespoons of sugar, and just a little bit of clear vanilla. You want it to be clear so that it doesn't alter the color of your beautiful white and fluffy whipped cream. Now, you are just going to whisk it until it thickens up like whipped cream. Now, doing it by hand, this is going to take me a few minutes. Like I said, you can use a hand mixer if you want to. I'm just using this. And by the time I'm done, our pie will be completely cooled down. All right, so I am going to work on this, and then we will come back and we're going to decorate our pie. All right, so now what we're going to do with this whipped cream is try not to make a mess, because I just glopped some on the counter a minute ago. I'm just taking it and I am putting it in a piping bag with whichever tip that you want to use already in the bag. So we're just going to fill this up and then pipe it onto the pie. All right, so our pie is here, and now all we're going to do is just pipe on the whipped cream wherever you want to place it. Now, on the whipped cream, we're going to put some of the cherries. So we're going to go ahead, when I'm done with this, pull the stems off of some of the cherries, and I like to let them rest on a paper towel for a few minutes. That's going to get all the excess juices all of the excess juices out of them and off of them, so that when you put them on your whipped cream, it doesn't spread out and look messy, okay? I'm trying to do this so that y'all can see it. And I'm just going to do this all the way around. All the way around. All right, so we're putting some of these cherries on, and they still have juice inside of them. So you're going to get a little bit of juice on your whipped cream, but it's okay. It's not as bad as if it would have been if you didn't take them out, let them drain for a few minutes. So anyway, there's that. And I think I'm going to do one right in the center, I think. So let's try to get one right there. All right. Right there. And that is it. So let me try to get a good picture of this. You've already seen it at the beginning, but I'm going to get a better picture and you can take another look. So anyway, I hope that you like this. I hope you make it. It's really delicious. I love it. So if you would please give this video a thumbs up, click subscribe, check me out on other forms of social media, the links to all of which will be in the description box down below. And I hope to see y'all next time. Bye.